Hey guys, Brendan and Turkey Tim here to tell you what we're thankful for this November. And what we're thankful for is kind goods. That's right, kind goods. We're thankful for the lovely staff. We're thankful for the bright and welcoming locations. We're thankful for the community interaction. And most of all, we're thankful for the high fidelity house of brands with good taste edibles, pinpoint extracts, and daybreak flower. You can't ask for more than that. But you get it at Kind Goods because you get service with a smile. You get some of the most knowledgeable staff in the industry. Gosh darn it, you just get a good experience and a good vibe in a warm, welcoming atmosphere. So this November, while you're giving thanks, hit up Kind Goods.
Okay. Welcome to Greenway Audio Magazine. I'm your host, Tim, and with me is Brandon. But today, we have Max Vansluys from Dialed In. Max, thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, guys.
Calling in from Cincinnati, Ohio. Beautiful Cincinnati. Right?
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
Beautiful since 513. Beautiful Cincinnati.
513. I love it. So, Max, Dialed In Gummies. Can I just tell you, we were at a Greenway event. Greenway, what was the event, Brandon? The Greenway what was it?
Was the Greenway Industry Mixer for Best of the Industry last year.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. Okay. And there just started to be a little roar about Dialed In Gummies. Everybody was talking about Dialed In Gummies. I'm like, who is this? What is this? I'm like, oh my God, it's this amazing thing from Colorado. Was that?
Yep.
Yeah, from Colorado, yep. And then someone's like, somebody from Dialed In is here. And then, I mean, literally, it was like a rock star. People were like, no, where? Oh my God, who? Oh my gosh, we have a meeting with them next week. It was like the coolest. I hadn't seen that in a long time. People get so excited about a new brand coming to Missouri. And I was like, I want to learn as much as I can about this brand. And then not shortly thereafter, I got a postcard in the mail, Dialed In Gummies, now in Missouri. And I was like, yeah, heck yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
we tried to make a little splash.
Yeah, you did. So let's get into it. Tell us everything
Excellent.
About Dialed In Gummies, because the fact that you guys are full spectrum rosin, like that is my niche right there. I have, it's not really Brandon style. That's totally my style. And so when I saw that you guys, that was like your specialty, I was like, ooh, this is amazing. So take it away. Tell us all about Dialed In.
Yeah, Tim. So full spectrum rosin gummies. It's all we make. We don't make any other kind of gummy. We focus on what we're good at and what we love, what we want to consume as well as consumers. And so back in 2020, when we launched, we actually launched 2 days before 420. So kind of a wild time to launch a new product, but we did it anyways. And at the time, rosin was still like 80, 90 a gram in the Colorado market, depending on the brand. So it was kind of an eye-opening experience for a lot of people. It's like, how are they doing this, right? And, you know, the original owner was a big rosin guy, really wanted to find a way to get rosin into more people's hands at a little bit more of an affordable price and give them that full spectrum experience, because back in 2020, it was distillate, everything edible. You'd be lucky to find even a live resin gummy at that time. So we decided to skip a whole step, forget live resin, we're jumping right into rosin. And it took off for multiple reasons. We were one of the first in Colorado to do single strain rosin edibles. It wasn't like we were just taking multiple batches of rosin, throwing it together, calling it hybrid indica sativa. We were focusing on really strong, heavy hitter cultivators in the state, as well as rosin producers. At the time, we were producing about 95% of the rosin that went into our edibles. So we had a lot of hat tips to that as well, because we weren't just outsourcing. And so we went out and found, like I said, some of the best cultivators, some of the hottest strains in the market, and we're making single strain rosin edibles with it. So, you know, we were able to promise, or not promise, but almost, you know, highlight the fact that if you love smoking this strain, like if you know that you like that strain from that grow, you're probably going to love this edible. And so that's what ended up causing a lot of stir and commotion. We also were releasing new flavors for our gummies, like almost monthly, if not quarterly. So we were keeping things interesting and different. Back then, we were hand numbering the tins, like 1 of 700, 2 of 700. It was very like small batch whiskey style. I think we gave someone carpal tunnel. So we stopped. I'm just kidding. We didn't do that, but we stopped doing that around when batches got to be around 1,500. Even at 1,500 units, though, that's still extremely small batch for a state the size of Colorado with 600 dispensaries in it. So, we had this amazing hockey stick growth moment in Colorado and kind of rode that wave for a very long time, continued to work with some of the better rosin producers in the state, flower producers in the state. And one of the things that I love to do is when a new brand would come online and they had just a little bit of like fire and a little bit of excitement behind them, let's do a collab. And we would help grow that brand because we were already in, 400 to 500 dispensaries where they were maybe only in 10. And that would help their trajectory as well. So it was really cool to help build brands. Our biggest motto has been and always is collaboration over competition. So we even work with some rosin producers that also have rosin gummies, but it's not like we're going to have their rosin gummies on shelves forever. It's a short little limited time moment where they can highlight again some of their most notable rosin single strains and put them into our gummies. Shout out to Laser Cat because we work with them a lot. They have their own rosin gummies, but we still do collaborations with them. Yeah, love those guys. They got a really cool facility all up in the mountains, and every time I go up, I swear like an elk will just like cross the road as I'm driving down it. It's magical. But we've also got a lot of other really great suppliers, even in Missouri. We just did a single strain high dose, first time doing single strain high dose in Missouri with Proper. So that's out in market right now. Dulce de Uva, one of my favorite strains to actually consume myself, is now in a 300 milligram dosed option in the Missouri market. Then we've done the same thing in Ohio, worked with some amazing cultivators. Massachusetts, we just launched there maybe 6-7 weeks ago. Just released a single strain LTO with Harbor House, which is a hitter out in the Massachusetts market. We've got another one coming up with Bountiful Farms. In Arizona, just launched 3 days ago. So everyone that's listening that's out in Arizona, you can now find Dialed in Gummies on all Story Cannabis shelves and more dispensaries after that. But we already are working with like the Grow Sciences of Arizona, the Sonoran Roots of Arizona. So again, we're just building that footprint by working with really great local, well-known brands. And that's just what we've always done. So back to being single strain solventless, we now have gone into a new path that I'm really excited about because that the edible market is becoming really popular for the 40 plus demographic, and they want something that is really effects driven, not just something that's going to get them stoned, right? And so we have 4 innovation SKUs that focus on minor cannabinoids. We have 2 different 1-to-1-to-1s. One's for sleep, the other's for focus. And then we have a 2-to-1 with CBG and a 5-to-1 with CBD. I don't know how to make that stop, but that's okay. So the 5-to-1 with CBD, we use the flavor Rocket Berry. Our 2-to-1 with CBG, we use the flavor Pomegranate. And then with our 1-to-1-to-1 that's for focus, which is a THCV CBC mix, is Blood Orange. And then our sleep gummy, which is our 1-to-1-to-1 with CBN and CBD, we use acai berry. So
love it.
By keeping those flavors the same, we're keeping the experience the same. And our sleep gummy is by far our number one seller in almost every single market that we're in. People definitely have a need and help for sleep.
So did you mention CBC?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Focus gummy. Yep, CBC, THCV, and THC. Yeah. It's 5 milligrams of each cannabinoid. You'll get 20 gummies in the tin, and it's excellent. I usually take that if I'm going to go work out.
Yeah.
Definitely use it when I golf because I'm not that good and helps keep me relaxed, but level-headed and focused, if you will. Pickleball, any sport really. I love to take it before and after. And then, the sleep gummy. I am very fortunate. I don't have trouble sleeping, so I don't have to take it that regularly. But, if I'm on like a long flight and want to just relax on it, great for that.
Max, I hate to tell you, as a new father, that might change.
Well, let me tell you right now. I'm getting pretty good at operating off my 2-hour sleep windows right now.
Isn't it crazy how you can adjust like that?
It's wild. It was really tough the first week, but last night was fantastic. We had 2 different 3-hour sleep windows, which was unbelievable. But I luckily could adapt pretty quickly there.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny how that works.
It's interesting how quickly you can adapt. The real question is, how long does it last? Because my
Right.
first, who's 15 now, almost 16, he slept through the night always, so never really had any issues and stuff. My second literally woke up around 2 o'clock every night for like the first 3.5 years she was alive.
Oh
I
man.
still wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning, and she's 8 because she conditioned
He
me,
trained you. Yep.
and so now I cannot go an entire night without waking up right about 2 o'clock in the morning. So me and the dogs, 2 o'clock in the morning, outside making sure everybody's taken care of and stuff, because that's just
Yeah.
going to be my routine until I die now.
Yeah. In case
Yeah.
anybody doesn't know, Max is a new father for the past 8 weeks as of today.
That's right. That's right. Little Rowan is here.
That's so great, dude.
Yeah, we're stoked. We're stoked over here. Yeah, he'll have a snowboard in his hands as soon as he can walk, and a golf club in the other hand as soon as he can swing one. So
Yes.
Did he come out full head of hair?
Yeah,
as well?
what's with the hair situation with Rowan? God,
Yeah,
dude, like your hair is unbelievable.
he's
Man.
definitely it's growing. It's growing. He didn't.
Yeah.
It's funny. Me and my wife looked at photos of each other when we were newborns, and we both had more hair than he did. So
Yeah.
we were, like, I wonder where that will kick in. But he's a chunker, man. He's already 13 pounds at 8 weeks, and he's like 26 inches long. So top percentile in both. He's got a
There
big
you
old
go.
head. So yeah, man,
Yeah.
he's awesome. He's awesome.
Good for you.
Hey, it's the generation of thick boys. Jason Kelsey opened up the doors for us by being, one of the top contenders for sexiest man of the year a couple years ago. And let's just keep rolling with that. Let's just keep creating handsome,
Six
thick
packs
men.
are overrated. Six packs are overrated.
Like,
Gotta
who
enjoy
wants a
food.
6-pack when you can have a pony keg?
Tell you what.
Jeez. Unbelievable. So
Yeah,
dialed in. Yeah. So let's.
Yeah.
Okay. So you mentioned the states. How many are you in right now?
Officially 5.
Okay.
Officially 5. And
the
4
big
of
ones,
those
too.
opened up in 2025. So we had a pretty
Jeez.
crazy year. Yeah, we had a crazy year. We launched in Ohio in December, technically January of 25. Missouri came 3 months after. Massachusetts again came about 6 weeks ago, and then Arizona right after.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we're in 5, and we've got more on the board for next year. We want to continue to grow it. We really want people to enjoy a really good tasting solventless edible. That is there's other rosin edibles out there, and I'm not saying they're bad, but we're one of the very few non-sugar coated gummies in the market, period, no matter which medium you use to make your gummy. So we're very low in sugar, which is great for a lot of people, especially in Ohio. Like, unfortunately, there's a lot of diabetes in Ohio. So we're really great for all those patients. Our 1-to-1-to-1s only has 1 gram of sugar in it, and the rest of them only have 2. The reason why it's an even split is our gummies are 6 grams, and then our 1-to-1-to-1s are 3 grams. So we just cut it right in the middle.
Got it.
So very low sugar option. Again, we are a house of flavors. We have about 26 different flavored gummies, and we dedicate 12 of those to our classics. We dedicate another 4 to our innovation. And then the rest, the other 10, we get to have a lot of fun with our limited edition batches.
Oh, that's awesome.
You guys have done another collaboration previously in Missouri. So this is your second collaboration, right?
This is our first high dose, but it is our 4th, if I remember correctly, 4th LTO. Yeah, so we did 2 with Farmer G right out of the gate.
Okay.
And then we did another one with Stability. And so, this one with Proper is our first high dose. And we actually are doing another one right after, which will probably be released towards the end of this month, which is Strawberry Delight. Technically, the strain is Strawberry Candy. We just can't call a gummy with the name Candy in it. So altered it just a little bit to Strawberry Delight. But Proper's been incredible to work with, a great partner. And, we want to continue to do more. We have one coming up with Robust. Shout out to Robust, another really great flower and rosin producer in the state. That's one thing that, honestly, I was really shocked about, is the rosin quality in Missouri. I wasn't really sure what to expect. Coming from Colorado, we're spoiled. I'll say that for very, very spoiled for the rosin, for the price as well, price per gram for rosin and quality. But I mean, you got the vibes, the amaze, the head change, the robust, the propers. Like, you've got a lot of really quality rosin producers in that state. So big shout out to all those guys.
It's super exciting to see you guys bring that collaborative spirit, and you guys have a great team in Missouri. One of my favorite people in the industry is Nick Givens.
Oh, he's the best.
He's such an intelligent and dynamic human being. And as soon as I found out he was going to Dialed In Gummies, I was like, well, that's going to be one of my new favorite things in the state, because if that guy's going there, then I'm going to have to, try as much as possible. So I was really excited to see, I did not know a lot about Dialed In before you guys came into the space. So I was trailing behind and trying to catch up and stuff like that. Part of that was just because, I haven't spent a lot of time in Colorado in the recent decade. 15-year-old kid, all of a sudden the travel stops, like, who knew? But yeah, I was super excited, and to watch you guys grow so quickly. I think that says so much about both the product and the culture that you're bringing from state to state, because it's you just don't see lightning fast diversification across states,
right?
Like that, unless it's a huge corporate conglomerate a lot of times. And you guys are an incredibly successful company, but as far as I know, you don't have billionaire backing, and you're not just sitting there buying up licenses and stuff like that. You're just bringing an awesome product to multiple markets.
Yeah, correct. We're focusing on, like I said, focusing on what we're good at, building out the brand that started back in Colorado, and continuing to take what made us successful in Colorado into each market. And that collaboration model is huge. But then just having the, focusing on the quality as well. We're really big on our production side and making sure that our quality standards are high, because, again, we want to be one of the best tasting, we always say best mouthfeel, texture, and flavor. Those are three pillars that we want to always stand on for our edibles, because more oftentimes than not, I'd say, 5 years ago or so, a lot of people were just doing what they needed to do to get the medicine down. They weren't necessarily enjoying the experience of the edible. I'd say that's changed a lot over the last 5 years, not just from us, but from multiple edible makers out there. There's been a lot of chefs that have actually come into cannabis to really grow brands and help them improve the taste profile and texture and all the things of the product. We have an in-house, wouldn't call him a chef, an in-house food scientist that has absolutely helped us with formulations, helped us with flavor expansion, all the things. The next thing that I'm really excited to bring to Missouri is a product that's in Colorado and has always been, but we're going to be bringing it to Missouri soon, and that's our rosin drops. So
go on.
Yeah, this is a simple syrup. It's a rosin simple syrup. So you can literally use it for anything. You can cook with it. You can make mocktails with it.
What?
We always say you can pour it into or onto anything. But really excited about that product coming to Missouri, especially with Missouri. It seems to be a really big high dose market. People love their high dose products in Missouri.
Yes.
And so I think they'll enjoy this product for the use case that it has. But overall, we're still going back and forth on, true formulations of what we're going to do in Missouri. Currently, the way that it is in Colorado is it's not flavored. We just go straight off the terpene profile of the rosin itself as the flavoring. But looking at BDSA and a lot of reports in the market, it seems that flavoring is a big thing in Missouri. So we're still figuring that out.
Do you know what a Yuzu plant is?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
We've been talking about it recently, or at least I have. I didn't know what the hell it was, and then all of a sudden, like, it's freaking everywhere, and it tastes amazing. And it literally, I think this plant was put on the earth to be a flavor for gummies. I mean, like, I think that's really what it was, because it's delicious.
It is. It is. I got introduced to Yuzu through what is it called? It's a drink that I had at Korean barbecue all the time. Um,
Oh,
yeah, it's not a sake. It's the Korean version of sake. I can't remember the
okay.
name of it right now, but it's a rice wine.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
But anyway, yeah, yuzu, you see that a lot in a lot of edible flavors. But yeah, again, we're still deciding how we're gonna position the product, but either way, it's coming, and I'm really excited for it.
Heck yeah. So are we now.
Fall is calling, and so are apple spice chews from Curio Wellness. These fan favorite chews are back for a limited time, blending that crisp, juicy apple flavor with just the right kick of warm spice. They're basically autumn in an edible. Whether you're apple picking, peeping at some leaves, or just posted up on the couch in your hoodie with a football game on, that's what I'm talking about. Apple Spice Chews bring the flavor and the fun to every fall moment. And this year, Curio's got something new. Get ready, baby. The 1,000 milligram pack. That's 25 chews at 40 milligrams each. So plenty to keep the fall vibes going. Curio Wellness's 1,000 milligram apple spice chew pack now for a limited time.
I got
That's amazing.
sidetracked by Yuzu sake, so I apologize. The recommended flavor profile for Missouri is toasted ravioli or barbecue. Just so you know,
Yeah.
those are the two recommended flavor profiles.
Charlie
Really
Cheetos, my favorite toasted raviolis in the
Hey,
state
there
are
you
at
go.
Charlie's.
Yeah.
Yep.
You said
Oh, yeah.
you said you're going to be at Q4 Mocan.
Yes.
I will tell you that if you're not from Missouri, little known
Oh, here we
fact,
go.
cashew chicken was invented in Springfield, Missouri.
No way.
Yeah, and so while you're in Springfield, cashew chicken. There's
you
a
don't have to
bunch
twist
of
my
really
arm
good
for that.
places. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I
One of
learned that
You
on
guys
my
all have
show.
your little food.
Mhm.
One of my all-time favorite marketing campaigns is we have the Springfield Cardinals, which is a AA baseball team, and they were the Springfield Cashew Chickens for a short time this year, and the hats and the uniforms were so good.
Yeah.
Like I'm just saying, one of my all-time favorite campaigns.
I've never been
Um,
to Springfield. I'm really excited for it. I've been to Kansas City now. I've been to St. Louis, but just excited to see another part
How
of
are
the
you
state.
getting there? Are you flying into St. Louis and driving?
Yeah. No, flying into Kansas City and driving, because then I'm
Yeah, that makes more
leaving
sense.
Kansas City and then going to Denver later that
Okay.
week.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
the
gonna
venue's
be
cool.
a long Uber.
Yeah, the venue seems pretty cool.
It's so interesting. Yeah.
Doug Hall,
yeah.
who puts on a lot of the Mocans, he always does a great
Oh, we
job.
love Doug.
Shout out
Yeah,
to Doug.
Doug.
Hall.
Doug's
Shout
the
out, yeah.
man.
Doug's
Yeah,
awesome.
We love Doug.
I want his glasses, his yellow glasses.
Oh, yeah. Do you know the first person to tell me how huge the imprint that you guys made when you landed here was Doug?
No kidding.
Doug was, he hit me up and was like, how did they do that? They exploded so quickly here.
Yeah.
And I don't think people have been able to replicate whatever the hell you guys did. What's your secret, Max? How did this happen?
Like I said, we really built a really strong brand
Yeah.
in Colorado. And I think staying in Colorado for the amount of time that we did, rather than branching out immediately and
There you go.
understanding our true process and understanding our true brand, I think that did a lot for us.
There you
a
go.
lot of brands, they'll catch some fire and they just sprint off into another market. Yeah.
Yep.
And it ends up dwindling the original fire. We're still one of the top brands in Colorado. We always say that's our home. That will never change. And we love Colorado. Colorado gave us what we have today. That's why I love to go back, even though I don't live there anymore, which I do miss. We got to always make sure Colorado knows, like, that's home for us, and again, I think by staying in that market, trying to figure out who we are, what our brand is, what our identity is, what makes us great, and then taking that and then replicating it into other markets is definitely what drove some success for us. And it built some, across lines hype of like, think about In-N-Out, right? Think about how excited everyone was when In-N-Out was only in California, right? And now that they've built out, I would say they've lost a little bit of that. I don't think we have, but I think they have a little bit, just because you can get it anywhere now, right? You don't have just that like urge to buy In-N-Out when you're in California because, I can get it in Arizona. I can get it in Texas. Pretty soon I'll be able to get it in Nashville, Tennessee. So I don't know. I feel like
Good point.
you have to be very careful with your expansion, but
Right.
definitely building that hype in Colorado helped, because I remember when we'd go to BizCon, every year, we'd have people say, "Oh, Dialed In Gummies," and we'd ask like, "Oh, you're from Colorado?" They're like, "No, I'm from Florida." "No, I'm from X state, Y state." Just nothing from Colorado. We're like, "How is this happening?" So it was pretty cool to see.
You guys, like I said, I wasn't super aware, but as soon as you landed in Missouri, I had so many people tell me, "Oh, these are the gummies that I used to bring home from Colorado. These are the ones that I brought for my mom, or I brought for my cousin," or like it was I think the reason that, to that point, they're synonymous with, with quality, is because they were the ones that seemed to be everybody's present to the person they wanted to either get high with or medicate, and I think that says a lot about both the product that you've created and the vision that you had for it. You talked on a couple points that, as brand geeks, I think resonate really hard with Tim and I. A lot of people look at gummies, or they look at any product in weed, but specifically gummies and vapes and things like that, and they don't have a brand story. They don't have an identity. They don't have an ethos. They have a cool graphic, and they have, maybe a cool logo, or a cool spokes astronaut or something like that. I might take that part out, because that
Take
wasn't
that
directed
shit out.
That wasn't
was
directed at you.
Curio.
It was not. It was actually full disclosures. It was directed at, just so you know. Just so you know, I'm just being honest. But as soon as I said it, I was like, "Oh fuck!"
I saw you hesitate. I was like, either he said something he shouldn't have said, or he just forgot his thought. One or the other.
No. Fuck. Might just leave it in. Who gives a shit? But no, you see a lot of brands that have something that is really cool or really eye-catching, but that's the fucking end of it. They're not the voice for the new generation. They're not 100 years of being cocaine before you were soda, or whatever Coca-Cola's story was. I don't know.
Oh, right. Yeah.
But there's nothing holding it down. There's nothing that brings you back to it. And in all my time of working with brands and working with companies, the thing that I've always tried to preach is, the first thing you should do is treat it like it's a human being. It needs to have a philosophy. It needs to have a religion. It needs to know what it's going to vote on, what it's going to stand up for, what the issues are that are important to it. And then if you never publicly say any of that ever, that's totally fine. But where your ethics and where your ethos and where the culture of your company lies. If you can go back and be like, this is what Dialed In would say if it was a girl named Di, or if it was a guy named Dan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, absolutely. We took that beyond just collaborations with brands. That was something that we were really proud of doing. Last year we did a national campaign for Last Prisoners Project, where we donated $1 for every 10 sold back to their campaign. And we wanted to take that a step further and go outside of cannabis. So we actually just released a batch called DD214, and that you can find in 4 of the 5 markets. It's not available in Arizona, unfortunately, but it's available in the other 4. If anyone's listening not familiar with DD214, that is the paperwork that you get as you exit the military. No matter which branch that you're in, that is the name of the paperwork that is basically saying thank you for your service. You are now back to a citizen, right? And so many other things. And we have a lot of veterans in our organization, and so we knew Veterans Day was coming up. We wanted to do something for the veterans, so we put out this batch, and it's again in all 4 markets, and we're doing the exact same thing. $1 for every 10 sold is going back to veterans organizations to really say thank you. So we're taking it beyond cannabis, the Give Back program, something that we're really passionate about. We have a couple other concepts that we're going to do before not this year, but into next year. But just going back to what you're saying, Brandon, what's your voice? What's your ethos? What do you stand for? For us, it's again, like we want to collab with all the, with everybody, but we also want to be able to give back and not just be a brand that makes money. Because what's the point if you're not giving back, right?
Absolutely.
DD214 is a brilliant name. By the way, as soon as you said that, I knew exactly what it was and what because especially for most active military can't participate, and so the fact that it's like, hey, you're done now. Like I love that so much, and I literally got like goosebumps whenever you were describing it and stuff. That to me is marketing with purpose. That's marketing that isn't just slapping a cool sticker or a cool logo on something. It's understanding both your ethos and the people that you're trying to reach.
Well, and we all know how many veterans support cannabis. They need it. It's a form of medicine that helps them get off of, some really gnarly stuff that are prescribed to them via pharmaceuticals, right? So knowing that that's a big portion of like customer base for us, especially in states like Missouri, Ohio, it's a big thing. So we really wanted to do something for them that they could recognize immediately when they see it on shelves. And yeah, we're really proud of it. We're really, really excited about it.
Yeah. It says a lot about your brand. It says a lot about the people behind it. On top of, what's the point of all of this if you're not giving back, if you're not like, giving back to the community? And that is the best part for me. That is the best part of my life is giving back. But also on the cannabis side, it helps to normalize as well. So if you're raising money for a charity or raising money for something outside of, retail, people are like, oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Like, hey, we're from a cannabis company, this isn't like soiled money. Like we're here because we're part of the community and we want to give back. And I've seen the shift of people being like, to like, oh, awesome. Come on in, and it's stuff like this, the stuff like you're doing, the stuff like a lot of brands in Missouri are doing is they're out in the community so much more. And it's not at, the smoke shop. It's at a church. It's at, a race. It's at, some charity events and that kind of stuff. And the money and the participation is welcomed now, and it's by stuff like what you're doing. I love it.
One of our favorite dispensary partners does highway cleanup on a regular basis, right around their area, and they've adopted highways, but they haven't done it just to put up the little sign. They do it because they're constantly looking for ways to engage in their community, and because there's a giant highway that runs through a relatively small town, that's one of the best ways that they can engage in the community is by cleaning up litter and stuff like that. I know this ties into the idea of collaboration and stuff like that, but building off of what you guys are doing with veterans, you guys do a lot of limited editions and a lot of different collabs. Some of them are with partners, some of them are your own individual limited editions. What else do you guys have coming up over the next, few months or on the agenda for next year that we can get excited about and we can start telling people to, get their extra pocket money ready so that they can go out and support and buy every product that Dialed In puts out?
Yeah, so we've got spring obviously coming up and winter. Well, winter's coming up before spring. Let me backtrack a little bit. So we've got some fun stuff. We like to do things around sports teams as well, as close as we can without getting our hands slapped. But we've got some really fun batches in Colorado. We have one right now called We Believe, Broncos colors, obviously. Yeah. And, some markets, Brandon, as you know, are a little more difficult to kind of achieve these with the different regulations that exist within those markets. But, in Massachusetts, we have a batch out right now called Plymouth Rock, right? Just to kind of show people, hey, we've arrived. We hit Massachusetts. We have one in Arizona called Grand Canyon, which happened to be a strain. We actually didn't call it that. That was the strain we procured and just happened to work out beautifully. But coming up, to answer your question, we like to keep it really unique and different. And we kind of call ourselves, and I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but the South Park of gummies. Try to be as relevant and in the moment as possible. Yeah. We've been able to pivot on some batches really, really quickly to highlight a moment in time.
Mm-hmm.
And, we're really good about that. Like really, really good about that. Our marketing team is excellent at being able to help us achieve these because sometimes we put out some really wacky ideas that stick and people love it. So, like back in a couple months ago, we did Buckeye Blossoms in Ohio just to kind of highlight spring and that the season was changing. We've got leaf peeping right now in Colorado that highlights, it's fall, the leaves are changing. So in terms of what's coming up, I would say everything that right now is being planned is all focused on single strain. And then beyond that, we're waiting for that right moment in time to kind of highlight, if you will. So we kind of keep those to be a little bit more on the ball, if you will, and not super planned out. But we've got a couple really fun ones in Massachusetts that I'm excited about that are just around the culture of Massachusetts, landmarks, areas of town. Just Massachusetts, I've found, has a lot of, just the city names alone are hard to pronounce. I get caught up all the time. I get caught up all the time doing that. But yeah, so going back to the question, I'd say TBD. We got some fun stuff coming, but right now it's focused mostly on single strain collaborations.
Next Halloween, Massachusetts. You heard it here first. Burning Witch.
Well, we did Salem Witch.
Did you really?
This year. Yeah, we did.
Badass.
Yeah, we did Salem Witch. That was our second batch. Second LTO that we released in Massachusetts, and the graphic was awesome. Turned out really, really well and sold out really quick because I think I don't know the exact number, but I know thousands of people go to Salem every year for Halloween. It's a big massive deal. Yeah. And so that was something that we're really excited about that we could nail. We've got fun stuff to do in all the new markets that we're going to go into as well.
Red and yellow and orange and teal in Missouri and call it Swift Engagement.
Oh my God.
Tim just had a PTSD flashback to the episode where we bombarded him with me and a few of our friends reviewing the Taylor Swift album for like 25 minutes. So Life of a Showgirl was a banger, and nobody can tell me that it wasn't a punk rock album. So
she knows what she's doing when it comes to marketing. That team and everyone that's behind her, there's no doubt. They know what they're doing now. They're really, really good at it too.
Yeah, they are.
They're almost as good at marketing as Tim is at being handsome.
Oh, Brandon, stop it!
Silver Fox Club up in this place. Look at it.
It really is today. Jeez. Hey, and let's not forget Brandon. Brandon's head of hair. Max, we give you a run for your money.
He took his hat off, man.
Yeah,
he
hides it. Dude, he hides it. I would never hide it. It would be out all the time.
It's unmanageable.
I saw Brandon at MoCan Q2 in Kansas City. I was like, oh, that's a handsome guy right there. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was flowing.
Oh, yeah.
And so you were here for if I remember correctly.
Oh, yeah. So you were here for the tornado.
Oh, was I? Yeah, and what's so funny, I remember everyone from out of state was like, oh my God, there's a tornado, there's a tornado. All the Missourians, they didn't even move. They just
stayed there.
Stood tall. Yeah,
dude, I opened the door. I was out there looking. I was like, is it over here? Someone said it's like right over across from the pond.
I saw Doug go outside. I followed Doug. I'm like, what's going on out here? I don't see anything in there.
You were outside while we were smoking.
Yep.
As soon as he said I followed Doug, I'm like, that's exactly where we were hanging out at.
Yeah.
That's exactly right out front.
Yeah. I was with a lot of people from Maryland, and they're like, "Where's the basement?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know. I mean, I was just gonna watch and see if we could see it."
You understand that like 35% of our houses are just tin cans on wheels. Like, we don't give a shit about a basement, guys. This isn't Maryland with old money, you know?
Brandon, going back to something you had said earlier in the show about, how did you guys achieve what you achieved in Missouri? It goes back to, as you said, this was the product that a lot of people brought home. And I got to give a big shout out to the Budtenders for that, right? Because the Budtenders are truly like what will make or break your product when you're on a shelf. Most brands, I feel, understand that now, but not all do. And you've got to win over the Budtenders, however way you can. And that's something that we spent a lot of marketing dollars on at the beginning in Colorado. Almost every time we sent out an order, samples were going out to the Budtenders. Now you got to be careful with that, because you don't want to overload them with samples and then they're annoyed, right? So you have to play a fine line of how you're doing your sample plan. And, luckily Missouri allowed that as well. So we did the same thing. And it's one of those things where, how do you expect someone to sell a product if they've never tried it, especially a new brand that they may have never heard of? So, it's a really big thing for brands. I tell new brands this all the time. Find somewhere in your budget, you're going to have to give away product. Whether you like it or not, you've got to find a way to make that work, because otherwise it's like opening a restaurant, hiring a bunch of servers, never letting them try the food, and expect them to go be a successful restaurant and sell that food. So, if you're in a market that allows it, giving samples to the Budtenders is definitely a helpful way to help them understand the product. And then it's education. You have to spend the money to get people in front of those Budtenders and in front of the customers to educate the product. Again, being a rosin edible, that's kind of, it doesn't make sense to a lot of people because they know distillate. They may even know live resin. We are a higher priced product because of the inputs that we're using. We have a much lower yield than a distillate or a live resin product can have. So, you have to be able to understand or help the customer understand, why am I going to pay somewhere between $4 to $6 more on the same 100 milligrams of THC? Because you're not just getting THC, you're also getting all the minor cannabinoids, terpenes that are present within the process of extraction. They get stripped away, when you're making distillate. Distillate, you're still getting THC, sure, but that's all you're getting. And so I think it's really important. I just wanted to call out, Budtenders are so important to brands, and, there are some amazing Budtenders out there that really latch on to brands that, it's pretty incredible to see. I'll go into some shops and I'm like, man, I want to hire this person. But if I hire them, then I lose my amazing sales rep now that's in this shop 5 days a week or 4 days a week, whatever it is. But yeah, even having the right people in front of the customers, we call them customer success associates or brand ambassadors, finding that right person to be the face of the brand, because they're in front of customers, they're in front of Budtenders, they're in the shops more than I am, because that's their job. And so hiring and finding the right people to represent your brand is a huge, huge proponent to being successful as well, because unfortunately that can also make or break your brand. If you bring the wrong person in and they rub the wrong person the wrong way, you don't get a lot of chances to, have those mess ups. And like we say all the time, you get one chance to launch. And so you got to do it right the first time.
Yep. You guys did such a good job with the launch. You guys did such a good job with your team here and understanding. You guys, I haven't seen them personally, but you guys' SOPs must just be not to do the thing, but they must just be super dialed in, because the way that the way that you've replicated from state to state, and the way that you've been able to adapt in places where you have to make micro adjustments to, size or shape or color or whatever it happens to be. You guys' ability to make the same product work in multiple markets is really fantastic, and I think it's a huge attestation as to what you guys have created. One of my, I know it sounds silly, but one of my favorite things about the gummies is they look clean. They just look clean, and I think that that's something that's endearing. You're not pulling. I've always been a big disty guy as far as gummies, because I have really severe ebbs and flows with cannabinoids and terpenes and stuff like that. And so for the most part, I like a 5 milligram disty gummy because it's a replicable experience that I get the same feeling over and over. However, I've come to appreciate, in the same way that I do with flower and stuff like that, the buzzword that we've heard for 10 years, the entourage effect, in a whole new way, since rosin and resin gummies have started being more present in the space. And for me, as somebody that, kind of sticks to my wheelhouse, there has to be something that catches my eye, that pulls me away. And so seeing a clean, simple gummy that, is vivid, as far as, the coloring and things like that, that really attracted me to want to try something. And one of my favorite things about what you said a few seconds ago about the price point is, because you guys built your brand, because you built your loyalists, whether they were from Colorado or not, you guys get to do the same thing that the most successful liquor companies, the most successful tobacco companies, the most successful steakhouses get to do. You get to say, hey, we're worth it. Like, it's as simple as that. We can give you all the science, we can give you all the reasons, we can give you the sales pitch, but at the end of the day, we're worth it, and we believe enough in our product that this is what it is, and buy in or get out type of mentality.
Yeah, there needs to be more brands that demand a premium price point, and so that you have that experience for the customers, because, otherwise we're all just going to race to the bottom. No one's going to win, and markets are going to crash. So you need to hold strong on your price and know that you have that value for your brand, for your product. And there are people that want expensive things, not saying we're the most expensive, but Louis Vuitton, Gucci, all these brands wouldn't exist if people didn't want to have nice things. And so there's no reason why you can't have that in cannabis as well.
Great point. What a good way to end. Right at our time too.
Oh,
Max, thank you so much for joining us. This has been great.
Thank you, guys. Really appreciate you having me.
Yeah, we will see you very soon. We'll see you at Q4.
See you at Mocam.
Springfield.
Q4.
That's right, baby.
Springfield.
Thank you, Max.